Before we go any further, we would like to remind you of the following firearm safety rules. They are: always point your firearm in a safe direction. Always make sure that your firearm is unloaded. Always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. All right, let's do some lubing. It's my favorite part. You like that creepy look?
You're gonna edit that out, right?
No, we're not. All right, let's do some of the long-term maintenance on this, which is going to be obviously lubrication. This pump handle is dried already. Look how clean it looks in comparison. We're using some of the Battle-Born grease for the action bars. I like it because the action bars are exposed to the outside. So it's more susceptible to the elements, rust, what have you. Again, the Battle-Born grease is the same base technology as our oil. It's just a little bit thicker. And seeing how there's a high friction part with looser tolerances, this grease comes in handy. Look how it really darkens everything up. So I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna do a thin layer. Inside, out, top, bottom.
You really want to touch on wherever you see like a little bit of wear. That's where two metals are touching each other, so you really want to get some lubrication into there to make sure the shotgun functions smoothly.
Good point. All right, that's good to go. I'm gonna leave that there. And this is where you can use either the standard Battle-Born that comes with your lock U kit, which is gonna be right in here. Again, 2-ounce serving of our breakthrough solvent, 2-ounce serving of our Battle-Born lubricant, and 12 cc grease syringe. So if you bought the lock U kit, it comes with it already. It really is an all-inclusive kit, especially for the price. You're definitely getting your money's worth. This is just our jar of grease. Like I said before in prior videos, it's perfect for countertop type of setups. If you have a gunsmithing bench, if you have a small shop and you're servicing other people's firearms, especially for reassembly of smaller parts, that's, I think, one of the biggest life hacks for certain gunsmiths is using grease like that. And you're hitting two birds with one stone because you're holding pieces in place and you're also lubricating. You don't have to worry about it breaking down over time because, again, all of our oils and lubricants are the same base technology, which means they're synthetic, they don't congeal, they don't break down. All right, they're also non-staining, there's no odor to them. So for you hunters who are using shotguns for hunting, this is a great opportunity to use our products. You're spending a considerable amount of money on scent removal products, and then you're bringing that odor back in through the woods with you.
Through your cleaning products and stuff.
Doesn't make sense. If you have a very smelly oil or grease, I don't care if it smells like a pack of menthols. I mean, if you want to put potpourri in your house, it makes sense. Just don't put it in your gun. So we're going to use our HP Pro oil for the bolt. And the main reason, I've said this in some of the other videos, it's a thicker oil. So what you end up getting, and I'm putting probably a little bit more than I should, but I just want to spread it around. Like I said before, it becomes a conditioning as well, or like a treatment. You put one thin layer on it, let it sit till it's nice and soaked up, and then you can put another layer over that and just let it sit on top, almost like a sacrificial layer. And why? When you're done shooting, you can take the gun back apart and wipe off most of that debris that's settled on top of it. It's blocking the pores because it's a little bit heavier, okay? And it's gonna hold the debris from really digging into those porous surfaces. So for the purposes of the video, I'm doing it a little bit fast, but usually I put a lighter coating on top, let it get sucked in, then put another one over that, and that's what I call a sacrificial layer.
It makes cleaning a lot easier also.
Yep, and this is a perfect example right here of how two of our lubricants are working in perfect harmony without canceling the other one out. So normally greases and oils from other competitors, when they're used in the same place at the same time, one starts fighting for supremacy over the other one, might break the other one down. Not going to do a thing. If anything, create a custom viscosity. A lot of our 3-gun shooters for Team Breakthrough were the ones that brought that up to our attention because they like mixing the grease with the oil and creating their own custom viscosity on their faster moving race guns. If you can hold that one for me, Jerry. And then this barrel is nice and dry. It looks almost brand new, like it came out of the phosphate bath. If you wanted to protect it against the elements, like I said, a little snail trail on the barrel, and a little bit goes a long way. Okay, and you could do that for the outside of the gun.
I've even seen the Parkerized barrels just with the oils in your fingertips. You'll get that little light surface rust. With this product, you don't get that anymore.
And that's a really good point. So parkerizing is almost like a sponge. Out of all the surface treatments that you could do, it's one of the more antiquated ones. A lot of people have gone with melaniting or Cerakoting or what have you, but for production guns, you know, folks are trying to minimize the cost of their production, so they pick coatings that make sense for them at the time. Parkerizing, being a sponge, will really suck in everything around its environment, right? And that's why using a synthetic oil makes sense. Also one that's gonna protect the outside of the gun. You could do the same here, right? With it still on your hand, you can just kind of put it all over the place, okay? Now time for reassembly.
Alrighty. Reassembly, pretty much we're going to go in the reverse order of how we disassembled it.
I'll hold it for you.
Okay. So you're going to slide in your slide. We're going to put the bolt and the bolt carrier back into position. Slide it in gently. You got it there. As you can see, he's pushing the action release at the bottom, which is going to allow it to slide farther back. Okay, no need to go all the way back, because when you mount the barrel, depending on what foregrip you have, sometimes it won't allow you to mount the barrel properly if you have the action all the way back. Or if you have something like a Mossberg, you have to have the action broken for it to be able to mount the barrel and to dismount the barrel.
Good point.
Okay, right here we're also going to mount the barrel into position. Make sure it seats all the way down. Okay. Now we're going to slide in the follower. As I mentioned earlier, you notice the spring is a lot longer than the tube it's actually in. So when you want to reinstall the spring into the tube, what you want to make sure is you hold it in place so it doesn't go flying out across the room. Okay. Now slide that back into here. You want to be very careful with the threads also. You want to make sure that the threads are going in nice and smooth. Okay, if it's a little cross-threaded or something, pretty much you wasted the whole receiver magazine for the gun.
That can go south real quick, guys. I think we said this before. If you're ever hitting any type of walls when you're putting a gun back together, taking it apart, chances are you're doing it wrong.
If it's not going in smooth, don't get the hammer out. Try again, start from scratch. Okay, now we could work the action. You push the release here. It should go back smoothly. Make sure the tube is tight in the front, and you can cycle it back and forth.
Feels sweet, doesn't it?
Nice and easy.
Let's see how that sucker works.
Woo! That greases some fantastic stuff.
Oh yeah. Guys, if you ever wanted to get a little bit, there's some folks with digital dexterity issues, maybe some hand injuries, things like that. If that's a weird tube for you to really work and get some pressure on, you can always use a strap wrench. Just don't go crazy with it, okay? It's usually 1 or 2 clicks past tight.
Yeah. The tube should be pretty much finger tight. If you go way too much, you're going to ruin it, because the aluminum with aluminum will kind of bond together.
Good point.
And then you'll never be able to take it apart again.
Good point, good
So
point.
you'll have to send it back, and they're going to charge you a lot of money to replace the tube.
Yeah. So we can put that one off to the side, and now we're just going to talk about some of the differences between the different pump shotguns. I'm going to lock this one back for you, Jerry. We're not going to take this one apart, but tell us a little bit about this one.
Okay, once again, you want to make sure whenever you're handling a firearm that it's unloaded. You want to visually and mechanically feel that it's unloaded. This is a Mossberg model, similar to the Remington 870 we discussed earlier, where the release is in the back. This one also, to take it apart, what you're going to do is you unscrew the barrel here at the front with the action halfway. Okay, once you slide the barrel out, the spring is set up a little different on the Mossbergs. Unlike the 870 where the spring comes all the way out, on the Mossberg you have to actually unscrew the feed tube. And it's the same thing, the spring is also a lot longer, so you want to make sure you try to capture it so it doesn't go flying across the room.
Good point.
Okay, so this one's basically a stock model, and we use it for trap with the Boy Scouts.
Yeah,
so
actually,
unlike the other ones that we have out here on the table and stuff like that.
Actually, great to bring this up. Jerry and all the folks at Novo Arms are actually really just warm-hearted people. They do a lot of stuff with the Boy Scouts. I want to take this point to drive you guys over to their website, novoarms.com. They do a lot of stuff with local ladies groups as well, first-time shooters.
Women on Target.
Yep.
For the NRA.
So, and they always make sure to bring, this is one of Jerry's guns, that's one of Jerry's guns. They always make sure to either find a gun or bring one of their own out there for first-time shooters. They're doing a lot for the folks that are willing and open-minded to try and give the shooting sports a try. So just wanted to give them a big kudos for that, now that we're talking about trap. I know it's a big thing for Jerry and his group. If they don't have a working shotgun, then they have to call off their trap and skeet night on Fridays, and there's always a big turnout for that. So that's why we wanted to make sure that we touch this video series on the shotgun.
Yeah, our guns are shot a lot, so they need to be functioning every time. So we always use the breakthrough products.
Yep.
Makes them a lot easier to clean and stuff after.
And now we got this baby. I love semi-autos.
And now we have the Beretta Outlander model. These are very high intensity for maintenance because they have a lot of little O-rings and stuff like that where the gases are actually what's making it cycle.
Just like a gas seal,
yes,
gas ring.
Gas seals, gas rings, and
like
stuff
on an
like
AR,
that.
you see that on the bolts.
Yeah.
Almost the same concept.
So what you want to do with these is you unscrew the front cap here, take out the fore end, and you're going to notice there's a bunch of springs and O-rings and all that there. You want to pay close attention to those, make sure they're not damaged, make sure they go back in the same order, make sure you don't lose any of them, because you'll have issues with it not functioning properly.
So they go in a specific order. This would be one of those life hacks that you might want to write down. Yeah. Something as simple as taking out your cell phone, taking a picture, and seeing what direction they go from north to south. So how do you take out the bolt?
To remove the bolt, you let the bolt right forward. These have a release right here on the side. The bolt will come forward, you pull the handle out, and then all that comes out the front. Okay. You don't want to disassemble too much in the trigger mechanisms, because here too, you have a lot of little pins and springs and stuff like that, that if they go flying, you pretty much, you're on your own with a $900 shotgun that doesn't work anymore.
And again, I can't stress that enough, guys. Be careful what you do when you're field stripping your gun. Always, always, always refer to your user's manual. We wanted to touch over some of the base differences between some of the shotguns. Obviously, there's too many variations, I think, just for one video. We went over, I think, one of the simplest ones to take down and maintain, which is a Remington 870. Military has used it for years, so have a lot of civilian police agencies, federal agencies, foreign nations. Doesn't mean it's the best one, but it's, I think, one of the ones that's made its way out there the most. Mossberg is going to be different in how they take down theirs. Also another great shotgun. And with semi-auto shotguns, it's just going to go on and on and on from there. There's too many variations to really cover. So that being said, that's really it for shotguns. A quick recap before we go though. Today we discussed how to properly disassemble, clean, and maintain your shotguns, all while using the best firearm cleaning and lubrication products in the market today, Breakthrough Clean. As always, thank you for joining us. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay up to speed on all of our new Breakthrough Clean University videos. Also, check out our social media pages for up-to-the-minute news, product offers, and giveaways. Well, thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, Gabe. It's been great.
See you next time.